companies are fed up with losing money because nearly half of LGBTQ TV characters are canceled, and GLAAD is freaking out over it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I've recently talked about how Disney is quietly moving away from at least using DEI terminology. We know that Microsoft is dropping the DEI, and it looks like creatives are going to be backed into a corner now because companies are finally saying enough is enough. This isn't working. You need to change the strategy, and really, this is going to cause a epic meltdown in the industries that we are talking about because they are now going to say that they are being censored, which isn't going to work because in the late 2010s, right around 2015, it started getting really bad. And then 2017, 2018 is when I think people really started calling it out. We saw companies adopt these DEI policies. Oh, you have to have a checklist of characters. You have to have a certain amount of women, of people of color, of people that would follow into the LGBTQIAXYZ plus categories. And then they didn't complain that they were being told to actually put an abundance of these characters and types of stories into entertainment because these people are narcissists. They only want to see characters that look like themselves and walk and talk like themselves. But now that the companies are just doing away with these checklists, these people are going to say, we are being silenced, we are being censored, when really that's not happening. Just the overabundance of this type of content is now being brought back down to the levels they were about a decade ago, which is just going to be so hilarious to me because I think that these people that are working in these industries, whether it's video games or Hollywood, they don't know how to write good stories. They do not know how to tell a good tale. They do not know how to write really cool, deep, interesting characters. And I think that 95% of them should be fired because if you suck at your job, you don't deserve to have that job. And now that might actually happen. So as GLAAD releases the 20th anniversary edition of its Where We Are on TV report, LGBTQ representation appears to be at a pace of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Despite the 2025 report, read it here, showing a slight uptick from last year's 468 to 489 LGBTQ characters across all platforms, that number takes a major blow as more than 200 of those characters will not return due to series cancellations, endings, or limited series formats. So they are basically complaining about the fact that they are not getting exactly what they want. These numbers have not doubled. These numbers have not tripled. And if a show ends or a limited series ends, you have to expect that, yes, you're going to see those numbers decline, and nothing is ever enough for these people. They could be saying, oh my gosh, it went up to 489, that's so amazing, but instead they're sitting here going, it was not enough. Of the departing characters, the report tracked a large and concerning number of trans-inclusive series that have ended, including 911 Lone Star, Chaos, and Clean Slate. While the number slightly increased year over year from 24 to 33, only 4 of those characters are on shows with renewal. So they are just melting down over the fact that Hollywood isn't doing enough now. Nobody cares, okay? Normal people do not care. Most people don't want an agenda shoved down their throat. And you can have LGBTQ plus characters who are interesting, like in Knights of the Old Republic with Juhani, for example. In Stranger Things, most people don't complain about the potential of Will being gay because from the very beginning, they've hinted towards that. But besides the few and far between characters that are well written, you are talking about characters that are annoying as hell to have to deal with. And over on social media, gosh, people are not being nice to these poor activists, and you love to see it. You gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Don't they dare touch my favorite trans, lesbian, Emmy Award winner, Peter Griffin. The problem is that they almost always rate them as unbearable, sanctimonious assholes, and this is a very good point. They're not interesting characters. They're not cool characters. They don't have a lot of depth. They are annoying and unbearable. Perhaps if they stopped writing gay characters and started writing compelling, relatable, three-dimensional characters who also happen to be gay, this wouldn't be the case. Yeah, it should be that they are interesting. Maybe they're compassionate. They are passionate. They are kind. They are caring. And by the way, they happen to be gay, not gay, 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 gay. And well, yeah, we have to add on a few different other descriptors for them. It should be a small piece of the puzzle that makes up a character, but it shouldn't be basically the rest of the puzzle or the entirety of the puzzle. Party! Overrepresentation is tiresome. But why though? What's the reason? Because nobody wants to watch characters like this. More, all of them gone. And they'll never put two and two together. Why? I'm glad that this is happening. Makes me glad. I doubt we'll see a return of quality writing, but I hope this leads to some actual creative risks and unique perspectives. One can only dream. Now, I did make another video on the Microsoft and Disney situation, but Microsoft recently had announced their decision to discontinue the publication of their annual diversity and inclusion reports, and we also heard that Disney is silently moving away from all of this terminology. Now, you cannot trust these companies, of course, because looking at Disney, just a couple of months ago, they were hiring a DEI chief for $250,000 a year. Microsoft isn't just going to up and drop all of these different things and all of these different programs that they have internally, but it is interesting that they are at least acknowledging that the tides are turning, that people are sick and tired of hearing of all of this. People just want entertainment to go back to being entertainment, and video games and movies and TV shows being escapism again. And they're recognizing, well, this is only pushing potential customers away, and given how expensive everything is for them to make, they need as many customers as possible. So nearly half of all LGBTQ plus characters are apparently disappearing from TV next season. GLAAD isn't happy about this. You've got the media like Deadline freaking out over this, saying that this is completely unfair, and most moviegoers are saying, okay. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.